Today on For the Love of Designing, we're making a pair of shorts whose pattern is from your own comfy shorts. So I'm thinking about making a pair of shorts out of this. I think that's really pretty. So when you're gonna copy a pair of shorts like this, you gotta remember there's two pieces for the front and two pieces for the back. The front of the old shorts look just like the back. My Sharpie is probably gonna blend in with the material because it's plaid. So you just want to take your Sharpie and just kind of follow the pattern of the old shorts. You might want to allow yourself a little extra because you need to sew it up. And you want to allow a little extra on the sides. So I'm going a little out beyond the shorts. And then when I cut this, I'm gonna go outside the line, a little outside the line. Make sure this matches up. So now we're gonna do this side. So I'm gonna take my marker and go down. And you might wanna stick a piece of cardboard or something in between the material. I want some extra material down here, that's why I'm going down instead of this way, because I'm going to hem them up. On this kind of pattern, where it's plaid or something, it's a little harder to see your lines. So I just, like I said, I just kind of go over it a couple times where I can see it. We're gonna go and cut this now, right along here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is cut this out. And like I said, I'm gonna go just a little above the marker, or you could go right on the line. It never hurts to give yourself a little extra. So next thing we're going to do is just put pins along here up to about this point right here. So we're going to repeat the same thing we did with the first piece. And I don't actually have a front or a back piece because they're just gonna be like this. Unless you put pockets on it, what is the front? Okay, so I'm gonna stick some pins in here so that I can open them up and see kind of how they came out. I've got it pinned on this side. The reason I pinned it was because when I open it up, I don't want it to fall apart, so this is basically what you have. And we're gonna do another piece just like this. So I kind of wanna, like I said, I don't use a pattern, so I kind of wanna hold them up to me, how they're gonna look. And we are going to hem the bottom. So now we're gonna go back and do the same thing that I did the way we did these. We're gonna make a back piece. Okay, so we've finished cutting these out and pinning the middles of them. And I've got all four pieces. I've got two here. There's two here. And I've got them pinned up the middles. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and take them, we're gonna take and sew up the sides now and hem the bottoms up and sew up the middle. So I've taken out a few pins just so I don't have to keep pulling them out as I'm sewing. So we have two pieces. We have a front and a back. And these are just simple shorts. So I really don't care which is the front or the back because as you can see, they're the same in the front and the back. I haven't put pockets or anything yet. So what we're going to do is I've sewn up the middle on both pairs. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take both pieces and you want to turn it inside out. You want the seam sticking up on this side and you want the seams sticking up on this side when you sew them. Because when we get done, we're just going to turn them inside out. So this will all be hidden. So what we're going to do is we're going to line them up because we're going to sew up the sides now and the very middle. You want to make sure that this middle lines up evenly with the other piece. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you're going to have this all off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin the middle, the crotch area, and I'm going to go out on the outsides and we're going to pin up both sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish pinning this up in the middle. And now what I want to do is go up here, kind of straighten them out a little bit. Don't pin it up all the ways because we're going to put some elastic in here. Leave a little opening from here to there because we want to run some elastic through there later. Kind of make sure the corners are all even. And if you get a little bit longer down here, as you can see my piece is a little shorter than the back piece, but that's okay because we're gonna hem the bottom up too and put a seam on them. And maybe you want the back a little longer. Maybe you want to do a little seam like that, a small one, and then do a bigger one here and make them a little shorter in the front. So we're gonna pin up this side and the middle. Okay, so we have them all pinned up now. We've got both sides pinned and we've got the middle pinned. And I'm gonna go and sew both sides and I'm gonna sew the middle up. And we're not gonna hem them yet and we're not gonna do the elastic yet. Okay, so we're getting ready to sew them up now. And you wanna leave a little extra on the side so that if you get too close, then the thread's gonna pull out. So I leave a little bit on both sides. Okay, I'm gonna back stitch it so they don't come out. Okay, so here's my shorts that I'm working on, and I've sewn up the sides and I've sewn up the middle. I like to take and put whatever I make, I like to put it on my mannequin. That way I can kind of like look at it and see what I want to add to it. So what I'm going to add to it is, we still got to do the elastic. So I've just got a little bit of elastic on there and I kind of rolled it down. You know, just to look at it and see what I want to do. And I'm thinking about putting a little belt on it, little tie belt, just to add some looks. And what I might do is also we might go and add some pockets on the sides, you know, sort of like, not the side ones, not the side, but they're like this where you can just stick your hand in them. It's like a little pouch. It's called a pouch pocket. So I'm thinking about adding the pocket on there. The next step is we're going to put the elastic in the waist. And forget about the belt right now because later on I'm just gonna add that on later. I've got it pinned on right now with safety pins. So we're going to take it and then we're going to put the elastic in it now. So I've measured how much elastic I need for my waist. You just wrap it around you. You want the shorts to be way up here, or you want them kind of on your hips. Took my felt pin, kind of made a mark on it right there where I'm going to cut it. And I got this. This is my piece I need. And I wrapped it around my mannequin. Make sure it's going to fit. So here's my elastic that I'm going to put in the shorts. And I'm not putting it in there right now because what I did was I took the top of the shorts where you're going to run the elastic and I folded it over. I measured it like this to make sure, you want to make sure your elastic's going to go through there. So I put pins where I'm going to sew it. So we're gonna do the front side and the back side. I've made a hem in the top of them. So you wanna do this inside out, and I folded them over so I could run my elastic through the front and the back. So what I do is, it's easier to just stick a safety pin in there. So that way you can just kind of run it through there. There's the front side. We have the elastic in the front side of them. So I want to keep my pin in there because I want to run it through the back side now. And so what you might want to do is, once you get it through the one side, you might want to take and put a pin on this, anchor it to the other side. That way, by doing this, my elastic won't pull all the way through. So we're going to do the front side just like we did the back side. Okay, so I run my elastic through the front and the back. And what I'm going to do is, I've got 2 pieces of my elastic sticking out from the side. We haven't completely sewed them all the way up on the side, on either sides. See, as you can see, I need to sew that still, the material. Okay, so what we want to do is pull the elastic out of there a little bit. It doesn't matter how much you have sticking out because you can always cut away a little bit. So we're going to go and sew that up now. You want to make sure your elastic's all straight in there, that it's not all twisted. I'm going to cut away a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, because you don't want it to start raveling out. I'm actually going to sew it twice. I'm going to sew the elastic twice so this doesn't pull out. So I'm going to go back over that again. Okay, so we're going to hem these up now. And when I cut my shorts out, I made them a little longer than I really wanted because I wanted to allow myself enough to roll them up because we got to hem them. So I'm going to roll mine up like maybe twice because I want mine just a little bit shorter. So I want mine to look like this instead of this. So what I want to do is just stick some pins in them on the bottom. So I know where I'm going to hem them. So we're going to hem them right along here. And so we're going to do this leg first. And we're not going to worry about this leg yet. We're going to just do this one first. So all you want to do is, you just want to, I want mine a little shorter, so we're going to do them twice. I'm going to roll them up twice on the legs. But we're going to go and do this one first, so we're going to go hem this up right now. Okay, so we have one side hemmed up, and I've hemmed up this side. So now I want to hem this side. And you want to make sure that both hems meet at the middle. Otherwise, the one side's going to be longer than the other. I've pinned this up, so now we're going to go in there and sew this. What we're going to do is, I'm going to just take one piece of material, a little piece of material, and I want to fold it over so we get 2 pockets out of this. So I'm going to fold it over, match up the bottom. So we've got 2 pieces of material here. So I'm going to take my material and I want to lay it on my shorts. So this is going to be the pocket. I'm going to sew up this side. We're going to sew down here. We're going to sew about up to here. I'm going to go right about here. Well, I'm not really marking I'm marking the material, but I kind of know what line. I'm going to cut right on that line. So I'm going to mark both sides of the line here. That way I know where I'm going to cut. Here's where I marked it. So I'm going to cut it a little above there because I want to turn the material like that so it doesn't ravel out. You have to make sure the material's all even, especially the bottom, because this is where that's going to go. Okay, so we're going to cut this now. I already know to follow that little green line right there, that little dark line right there, so I want to go a little above that. I'm going gonna go right here along here and cut the side. So we get two pieces. So therefore we're gonna put that on there. We're gonna put this side on here. Okay, so I'm going to go in there and sew the pockets on the front. Or if you want pockets in the back, this can be your back. This can be the back of the shorts. But I think I want to do something a little different and just put pockets in the front. So we're gonna go and sew that down so it doesn't ravel out. We're gonna go and sew all along here. And we're gonna sew this side like that. And I'm not gonna sew this. I want this to have the frail edge. Okay, so we're gonna take these in there and sew them. So this is what we started with, and this is the one I hemmed up. The reason you want to hem this is you want to hem this so that you don't have raw material because it'll pull out. So this, we have one pocket ready to go. So we're gonna put it on there like that. And I just wanted to hem this where it wouldn't ravel out. So I'm going to sew that on there like that. We're gonna take this corner, we're gonna turn it under it as we sew it. That's what it's gonna look like when we're done. But what you wanna make sure you do, okay, so you wanna even them up at the bottom, otherwise you're gonna have one pocket longer than the other. So what you wanna do is use this as a pattern and take this and fold it down to about where your other one's at. Then if it helps, you can stick some pins in here so your material doesn't move when you're sewing it, and you know exactly where you need to hem it up. I placed the pockets on the shorts. Now I want to pin them in place. So we've got that pinned on there, and now we're going to go sew it. We've got the pockets sewn on. Okay, so we got a little extra material left over, and I want to make like a belt out of this. I'm going to cut it like right here, just really, really small, and it's going to wrap around the shorts. Because I ran out of material, so I can't make a long belt that wraps around the whole waist, so I'm just doing a half a belt, which we're going to take it and we're going to put it right along the side, the seam on the inside there, but you're going to put it right there along on the side. I got my belt started. We're going to sew it up. Okay, so I've got to piece it together because I didn't have enough lengthwise. So I'm going to put this on here, and we're going to cut out another piece which will look just like this, and we're going to sew it together, and then we're going to attach it around on the shorts, and we're going to attach the other side of the belt on the other side, and we're going to have a belt. So now I've made my two pieces for my belt, and we're going to go in and I'm going to attach them to the side. I'm going to go and just sew it right here along the side. And I'm going to take this one, and we're going to do the same thing over here, right on the sides. And I have two buttons. I want to put a button on the pockets, but I'll hand sew those. Back stitch it a little bit. Okay, so we've finished the shorts now, and I put the pockets on, and I put a belt on it, and I added two little buttons. The raw material that I left on the pockets here. So what's cool about this is that you can wear these shorts the front or the back. This could be the front with the pockets, or you could untie the belt and tie it around the other side and use this as the front without pockets. Okay, so now I'm going to try them on.
Me say meow meow. If you like what you saw, please give the subscribe button a pop and check out another video here.